Good morning, Paul Abram here. Do you know what the difference is between a fascial maneuver or a fascial release exercise and normal exercise? There's one primary thing here, is that you are moving fascia first. So exercising muscles through the skeleton, doing big maneuvers or maneuvers with force, that's completely different to doing fascia maneuvers. The fascia is everywhere, and through the right maneuver of this here, I connect, I smear, and I'm past my elbow, I'm behind my right shoulder, down the right hand side of my spine, and I'm into my calf, right hand side of the calf, and playing around there in the center of the spine, in the lumbar area. That's what you can do with fascia. You can't do that with muscles or skeleton. You can't do that. Similarly, you can't get into the fascia if the muscles, if you're in protection mode. So if the Golgi tendon reflex, or the organ, we'll call it an organ, the Golgi tendon organ is triggered. When they trigger, the muscles and the skeleton take over. So fascia then becomes the secondary mode. So we need to be in at the primary mode. So if I want to release tension somewhere in the body, I need to be able to hold this fascia. I'm going to take and lock. For instance, I do this, put my hand here. Look what I've done with my shoulder now. It's locked in place. Have I got it this way or something? I can still move that quite a bit. This way, move it even more, in fact. But here, I'm locked in. I'm going to take that elbow and I'm going to twist it there. So you can see here what's happening at the level of the skin, the twist that I'm getting. That's coming all the way through, right the way through into the tip of my little finger. On the other side, it's pulling it down and bring a twist around here. So I'm into my left hip with this. Now if I take it this way, I'm over into my rib cage on the left hand side, and I'm beginning to feel more. So I get to here. At the moment, everything's fascia. If I move this quickly now, I'll be coming out of fascia and going into muscles and into bones, fight and flight. We want to get out of protection and into safety so that we feel safe. So slowly moving becomes tight. So I'm going to take a breath. And as I release that, I'm given more space with the fascia. Now I can't move anymore, so I'm going to take another breath. And I have more. So the fascia gives when we give it. If we give it energy, we give it ions through the breath. We're using breath as a charge gradient from which the fascia can redistribute that charge. So by pinning, locking, applying tension and torsion, I can direct where that charge goes. So I can recalibrate the fascia at will, consciously knowing what I'm doing. So now I have more range of movement in the twist of this shoulder. And when I do this, I have more range of movement down here. It's not like suddenly my arm will go another 10 degrees in one direction. These are small, incremental, and even microscopic changes. But the more that you practice, the more you engage in speaking to the fascia and supporting the fascia, the more it supports you automatically. So then the effects are on your autonomic nervous system. Stress levels drop. Humor, fun, joy, happiness, joie de vivre, they all increase. Your life changes exponentially because you have a deeper relationship with this thing called fascia, which is the very matrix of your being. It is the primary medium for embodying experience. It's richly innervated with nerves, all kinds of different nerves, meaning that we're not paying attention to them because we're not trained to do so. Through the human garage fascial manoeuvres and the system that they're teaching, what we're able to do is bring you, for yourself, the opportunity to develop and learn how to maneuver, how to connect with your body in ways that you're not familiar with. Do it routinely so that you have transformations that live with you permanently, and then you can experience what it's like to be freer in the body, less stressed, for you to actually move forward with flow in your life. When the fascia is damaged, for whatever reason, the atoms within that matrix collapse and there's no movement. When we bring life back to the fascia through breath, we bring movement back in and we restore the sacred geometry of the atom. If we only do it once, the atom will return back into its collapsed state. So exercising, and most modalities will do this. We will open things, but they close down again. The uniqueness of fascia manoeuvres, when done correctly, is that after the maneuver is complete, we spend time increasing the afferent nerves, so the nerves going one way to the brain. We spend time increasing that nerve conductivity and receptivity in the vestibular, the balancing part of the brain. And then the logic test it does, test and adjust, test and adjust, test and adjust. How am I feeling? My balance is correct. I feel good. This begins to happen automatically. So that when you're walking and you're moving and you're playing and you're doing sport, whatever it is you're doing, those changes become automatic. And so the body doesn't fall back into collapsed geometry, into stiff and heavy and dense experiences. It is open and it opens, the geometry is restored, and then it flows, and life does what it should do, flow rather than hold. I just wanted to share that with you today because it's important to recognize why fascial maneuvers are so completely different to any other modality there is, and why they're groundbreaking and life-changing. Thank you.